also, actually, I'll say this is something that I'm quite proud of, is that we also significantly increased our interaction with some of the district administration, given that a lot of the focus historically has been with the in and around Hyderabad. So these are some interactions that we had with the various district administration, the union budget, and of course a number of inputs that we provided both at the state level, region level, and the central level were accepted by the governments. Some outcomes and impacts of the various policy recommendations that we've made over a period of time. And also CII's representation on various committees that were formed by the state government, as you would expect, and as you see, we were quite involved and we were quite engaged in a number of the decision-making policies. A number of the reports that we have published, and like I said, two that stand out are excuse me, are the regional, also the district level reports for Karimnagar and Nizamabad, I believe, and also the handbook for Made in Telangana, which ties into the Made in India and the Prime Minister's key objective of self-reliant India, and some of the things that we then did to strengthen the competitiveness for a self-reliant India. We organized over 74 virtual sessions, 15 major conferences, and all of them virtually. Of course, it had its challenges, but also it had its benefits, and it gave us the ability to request a lot of people to join with minimal time commitment, given that travel, etc., was not there. We had 254 member companies that participated in these sessions and conferences, and 15,370 people joined us. In terms of the new initiatives, again, a very interesting and important initiative that we've been a part of, the Geographic Indication, the GI Festival of India. The Honorable Governor has been another very, very strong supporter for CII Telangana, participating in a number of sessions, and this was one where the Honorable Governor also participated. Some of the new initiatives, we had a Make in Telangana initiative, which highlighted the competitiveness of Telangana, especially from a manufacturing perspective. We had a CII Telangana Digital Summit, which of course is quite important considering the focus on some of the digital technologies in various industries. And we also had the CII Rebound Summit to look at ways in which we can help our membership across various places rebound quicker. And I also want to compliment CII and specifically the State Secretariat for becoming so digital. And I think from all the organizations, both corporate and otherwise, that I deal with, CII Telangana was one of the most digitally savvy organizations. So I think in a time like this, they deserve a round of applause. We held the District Collectors Conclave. We held the Gaming and VFX, the School Excellence Conclave, the Lifestyle and Wellness Management Summit, and of course the Brand Summit, which was another big hit for us across, talking across branding in various sectors. The conferences that we've held historically also, like Pharmexy, MSME Summit, Manexy, and so on and so forth, all of which were very successful. The Defense Conclave, which was another very successful summit for us. The Sustainability Summit, and then the Reimagining Post-Telangana Summit. And like you will see from some of the pictures, we had a number of really important and influential policymakers who gave us the time and made the time commitment. The EDU Summit, Social Leadership Summit, the AI for All Conclave, the CFO Conclave, and a few others, and like I said, I'll skip through them due to the paucity of time, but these are just some of the summits, both summits and workshops, both, all of them, of course, being digital. We also had a few forums. The first that I would highlight is the CEO Forum. The CEO Forum is chaired by Mr. Vagesh Dikshit, and the idea was to bring together about 20 CEOs who can collaborate, ideate, and exchange ideas and learn from each other. It's essentially a peer-to-peer learning network, and you know, of course, Mr. G.V. Prasad of Dr. Reddy's kicked it off, and we had a few other sessions after that. And something that's very well received and seen as a value add to our members. This is also, I think, the second year for the CFO Summit, which is headed by Mrs. Vanita Datla. And again, that's a summit where I know that a lot of CFOs are members of, and I've heard some very, very good feedback. So another great peer-to-peer sharing environment and a sharing forum for CFOs. Then we had the Tech EDU Excellence Forum. The forum has founders, senior management, and or founders, senior management, etc., of engineering colleges as members, along with industry members. So the idea is that we can look at how we collaborate better and how engineering colleges can be better for, or engineering colleges and technical education can prepare students better. We have the TQM Forum on the quality management. The other thing that I want to highlight that we've taken up this year is also the inclusiveness and sustainability, given that it is a topic that's very important to many people, and we've done a number of things on that. Again, I apologize, but I'll circle them through these quickly given the paucity of time, but we did the various initiatives, and these are available for you to quickly look through. We also, you know, CII at 125 to celebrate the 125 years of CII was supposed to be a big initiative. Unfortunately, it coincided with the pandemic, so obviously some of the priorities had to shift and had to be focused elsewhere. But I'm still proud to say that we actually did a number of things to support that. We did a virtual music concert, we did a bike ride, we did a run, and we did tree plantations across various places. So that's still, you know, perhaps not as much as we would have liked to or we should have, considering that it's a very important milestone. But considering the circumstances, I think we did what we could on that. CSR, again, like I initially said, it was a big imperative this year considering the challenges that we face. So I think the CSR committee did a fantastic job on a number of their initiatives, and I'll quickly circle through them in terms of the various relief measures, various distribution measures, and so on and so forth. So special compliments to the CSR committee led by Swati on what they have done, and I think especially I just want to reiterate that another group that did really well with CSR was the Young Indians, who really took leadership and demonstrated or took leadership on a lot of these initiatives. So special compliments to them. In terms of membership, it's been a little bit of a difficult year, needless to say, given that you know, a lot of companies are going through various trials and tribulations, and some of them challenges in terms of renewals. But I think still we did a really good job in terms of making sure that we still had member meets, road shows, and just some of the numbers are available for your consideration. Ivan, again, was a great year for Ivan. You know, we had again some great topics, great speakers. The Honorable Union Minister for Textiles, Mrs. Smriti Irani, was the highlight of the leadership conclave, and was a fantastic presentation. But just to give you a quick overview of some of the events that Ivan has done. Ivan also does a mentorship initiative to mentor senior women executives and leaders, and that's something that's been very well received across the board. Some numbers from the Ivan. Then Young Indians, of course, a very important constituent of CII, and just some of the events that they've done. The Honorable Minister of State for Home Affairs, Kishan Reddy Garu, was the highlight of the leadership session, or the annual leadership conference there. And they also, I guess being young people, they also were the first to have an in-person conference, which was their annual leadership day, I believe, in December. There's again some numbers and some review of activities, but I also will compliment YI on the fact that they increased membership, or they were the only chapter that increased membership this year across India in spite of what is going on. So well done, YI. In terms of some of the specialized services that we provide, the IPR facilitation cell is very, very active. We've done a number of things there. We look at the IPRs filed, and also we've had a number of events on the familiarization of what IPR is, how people can actually patent their technologies, etc. Then just quickly, the Green Business Center, there's a quick review of that. And I'll just skip through given this. And sorry. Lastly, I just want to thank a few people. Firstly, of course, the CII Southern Region Office Bearers for 2021. Mr. Satish Reddy, who is the chairman, and Mr. C.K. Ranganath, who is the deputy chairman. And their leadership and support was very, very incredible during this year. And their guidance was very useful in terms of making sure we were all aligned on things that make a difference and we have a significant impact on what we're doing together. I want to thank the past chairman and chairpersons of CII Southern Region from Telangana, many of whom are here, Mr. Anil Kumar Ipur, Mrs. Shobhana Kamineni, Mr. Mohan Reddy, Mr. Sanjay Reddy, and Mr. Ramesh Datla, who also is here. I want to thank the past chairman and chairpersons, and from Mr. Ashok Reddy, Mrs. Suchitra Yella, Jay Galla, Mr. Shakti Sagar, Mr. Harish Chandra Prasad, Mr. Uttal Sengupta, Mr. Pradeep Doble, Dr. Vivekanand, Mr. M.K. Patodia, Mr. Satish Reddy, Mr. D.V. Manohar, Mrs. Vanita Datla, Mr. Nupinder Rao, Mr. Rajanna, Mr. Sanjay Singh, and of course my predecessor and good friend Mr. D. Raju. And I just want to say a big thank you to all of them, because they made my life easy. They did most of the work, and I came and made the final presentation. So thank you very much. It was your support, your guidance was really helpful in making what could have been a very difficult year very easy. So thank you very, very much. Lastly, I will say thank you to Mr. Samir Goyal, the Vice Chairman of CII Telangana and the Managing Director of Coromandel International. Samir has been an incredible support and has provided strong leadership in many areas, including membership. And I'm sure that without his support, we wouldn't have had the kind of year that we would have had. So Samir, thank you very much for your support. The team across various conveners from the 12 or 13 different committees that we had, and of course, you know, all of them, many of them are here, and I'll say a quick word of thanks to all of them for their support, because really CII and the State Council is the sum of its parts, and it's the work that they do that help us come to the state that we're in and do the things that we get a lot of credit for. Further, the team of CII. Just a quick snapshot of CII in the media, and again, I will leave it to your consideration. But the last thing I will say is, I think one of the most important constituents of CII that makes us so effective is the Secretariat. I'll say first, they push us a lot, but they also do all the hard work. So between Subhajit here in CII Telangana and Satish in CII Southern Region, just a big word of thanks from all of us on the committee and the council for the incredible support that you provide and for making our life easy. Thank you very much. So friends, I'm sorry for the quick or a long presentation done in a brief manner, but if there's anything that that you want more information on, please do reach out and we will provide you the more details. But we have also made every effort to make sure that the previous efforts have been, that we've built on and not started only new initiatives. So I think the collective results that we have achieved by the Council is really a tremendous work of all the past history, and we only tried to build on what was given to us, which was an incredible platform. So thank you very much for this support for this year, and with that I will Yeah. With that, can I request Mr. Satish Reddy, the chairman of CII Southern Region, to kindly give his address, please. Satish, over to you.
Thank you, Krishna, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies, I was hoping to be in person with you today, but I could not make it. I look forward to seeing you all at the Regional Council meeting tomorrow. Good morning once again, and it is a pleasure to be here with you today on the occasion of Telangana State Annual General Meeting. In line with our national theme, which is Building India for a New World, Lives, Livelihood and Growth, CII Southern Region has adopted Building South India for a New World, Lives, Livelihood and Growth during this year as its theme. And this year, the regional theme has been implemented by focusing on the key enablers such as policy advocacy, ease of doing business, MSME engagement, education, skill development, entrepreneurship, startups, membership engagement, and the developmental growth agenda with the thrust on CSR, affirmative action, women and youth, echoing the 10 lenses laid out by the national leadership. We had indeed started the year in March, where the COVID pandemic came upon all of us, and I would like to place on record the excellent support that we received from Telangana members, including Ivan and Young India members, in sailing through these very tough times. I would like to thank Krishna, Samir, past chairs, and the entire team in Telangana for providing the leadership for the COVID relief and rehabilitation initiatives, which earned the appreciation from the government, membership, and other stakeholders. As part of the regional work plan, special emphasis was laid on policy engagement initiatives in the southern states. I'm happy to mention that during the year, we've had both physical and virtual meetings with the chief ministers, and bureaucrats of all the southern states. Over 182 meetings with state and central ministers and bureaucrats were held this year, and the southern region states facilitated over 142 interactions on EODB, the ease of doing business this year. And as part of the COVID interventions, we have made 115 representations across the southern states in the areas of GST, waiver of fixed charges of electricity, loan moratorium, interstate movement of goods, focus on MSME pending payments from PSUs, incentive schemes, amongst others. Over 80 representations focused on MSMEs, export, movement of essential goods, utilization of CSR fund, labor, among others, were made during the lockdown period. Several task forces were formed at the regional as well as the state level to represent industry issues during and post the lockdown for restart of business with specific focus on MSMEs. And as part of the CI at 125 initiative, new initiatives across the southern region have been rolled out during the year. A CI handbook, Mystic South, a Gateway to Prosperity, was launched, which focused on the investment promotion in southern states. The CI Southern Region also organized specific programs like virtual music concert, bike rally on the World Tourism Day, wellness run, coffee table book, skills training sessions, a host of things in commemoration of the CI 125-year celebrations. In the area of MSME, I'm glad to inform members that CI Southern Region has organized 430 MSME engagement sessions this year, focusing on interventions in the areas of policy, competitiveness, leadership, and business promotion, and that impacted over 4,900 members. The International Linkages Subcommittee undertook 42 exclusive interactions, mainly virtual and some physically across the South India, with diplomats and overseas dignitaries from many countries, and it impacted close to 2,723 members in exploring business opportunities in existing and emerging markets, mostly on the virtual mode and later partly in the physical mode. The Southern Region Startup Initiative provided a business networking platform for budding entrepreneurs, and this year the Southern Region witnessed the launch of CI National Center for Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Startups in Hyderabad, and the CI Mysore Cybersecurity Forum in Karnataka. CI Southern Region Startups and Entrepreneurship Forum has taken up a new initiative on survival kit for the Indian industry. And this is the first of its kind initiative in the country to help startups and entrepreneurs. This year, the membership engagement has been given a strong focus, keeping in view the changing expectations of the membership, besides new members joining from emerging sectors of the economy. Membership engagement continued to be a priority agenda this year, and to further strengthen engagement with members, 22 member meets were held this year, including with Mr. Kotak, the president of CI, Mr. Sanjeev Bajaj, the Vice President of CII, besides the 6 new member induction meets and over 421 member outreach meets were organized at the premises of member companies during this year. It's also heartening to note that the Southern region leads in the membership nationally with close to 3,000 members, 2,998 members to be precise, and this is indeed made possible with support from all of you. To focus on CII Telangana specifically, I wish to commend both Krishna and Samir for the exceptional work that they have done in Telangana during the year 2020 and 21, despite the pandemic, and for leading various initiatives for the benefit of members in the state. They have effectively carried forward the good work that was done in the past. It is heartening to note that CII Telangana had several meetings and interactions with the state ministers during the year on policy matters and presented industry inputs in the form of reports, recommendations, and representations. I'm also glad to note that the CII recommendations, especially on the electric vehicle policy, has been accepted. Also wanted to congratulate the Telangana leadership for launching the district development plan for Nizamabad. And with Hyderabad being the only economic capital in the state today, it is very much necessary to support the development of Tier 2 and Tier 3 towns and make them as centers of economic activity. Also happy to learn that CII Telangana has connected well with members through digital platforms, and this initiative has helped in serving the members and also facilitated business continuity and networking among stakeholders without any disruption at these times. Also glad to see that CII Telangana has extensively focused on skilling initiatives and promoting industry academia connect. The dual apprenticeship program initiated in collaboration with the government of Telangana is indeed commendable. My special appreciation for the good work done by the CII IP Facilitation Center at Telangana, which focused on creating an effective intellectual property ecosystem in the state. I once again wish to place on record my gratitude to Krishna as well as Samir Goel and the leadership team for their outstanding efforts made during the year. Though we have had a tough year, the outlook is positive, and the industry, I believe, is well positioned to reboot growth. I should mention that all these achievements would not be possible but for the support of the members and their involvement. I thank them for being a pillar of support to the State Council and its activities. I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome the office bearers of CII Telangana for 2021-22, and I wish them the very best. Once again, congratulations, Krishna and the entire team for the remarkable achievements during the year. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attention.
Satish, thank you very much for that, and once again, thank you very much, more importantly, for your support over the last year. I think without the support and guidance from the region, we would not have been able to do many of the things that we have done. So, Satish, thank you very much, and also thank you to CK for his support and his guidance in many of the matters. With that, may I now request you, Satish, as the chairman of CII Southern Region, to announce the election results of CII Telangana State Council for the year 2021, or 2021, or 21.
Sure. In accordance with the provisions of Rule 32F6 of the Confederation, the election results of the CII Telangana State Council for the year 21-22 received from the scrutinizer, which is Protivity India Member Private Limited, have already been circulated to members by the circular dated 24th February 2021. I'm pleased to announce the names of the companies which have got elected. In the general category, which has 10 seats, the following are the companies: Alpla India Private Limited, Coromandel International Limited, CSR Estates Limited, Helico Limited, Gaja Engineering Private Limited, ITC Limited, Paperboards and Specialty Papers Division, Kalyani Rafael Advanced Systems Private Limited, Natco Pharma Limited, Rachmalu Forgings Private Limited, and Visakha Industries Limited. In the small scale category, which have 3 seats, the companies are APD Technologies Private Limited, Resource Inputs Private Limited, Simplijit Investment Corporation Private Limited, and these are the companies. So let's give a round of applause to all the elected companies. Also wanted to inform ladies and gentlemen that there will be the leadership change in the Southern Region Secretariat. Mr. Satish Raman, who is the Regional Director of the CII Southern Region, will be moving on to a new role, and Mr. NMP Jayesh will take over the portfolio in the southern region. He has been with the CIA for the past 15 years and he has handled various portfolios in Madurai, Kerala, Delhi and Singapore. I particularly wish to thank Satish Raman for all his support. Like Krishna said, all of us get pushed quite a lot, but all the work is done by him and his team across the southern region, along with all the states. So thank you, Satish, for that. Right. Thank you. Over to you, Krishna.
Thank you very much, Satish, for the announcements, and obviously a compliments to Satish Raman for his new role, and welcome Jayesh to your role. With the members' permission, I'm going to change around the agenda a little bit because we need to move around things a little bit. But with that, we will go to the adoption of the annual report of CII Telangana State Council for the year 2020-21. We will also digitally send it to all the members through email and WhatsApp. Correct. Correct. Correct, that's true. So may I now move the resolution that the annual report of the Confederation for year 2021 be and are hereby approved and adopted. May I request somebody to propose the resolution, please? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Could somebody second the resolution? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Anyone against the resolution? Thank you very much, and the meeting has approved and adopted the annual report of the Telangana State for the year 2020-2021 unanimously. Thank you very much for your support. Distribution. Now I move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the distribution of the Quality Circle Awards for the year 2020-21 from the state. Could I request the Southern Region past chairs, Mr. Anil Ipur and Mr. Ramesh Datla, to come on the stage to present the trophy to the winners of the Quality Circle competition for the year 2020-21.
The third prize for the QCC competition award goes to the team Super Batch Registered Team from ITC Limited PSPD. So request them to kindly join on the stage and collect the award. A big round of applause for the winning team. Please come, sir. Thank you. Congratulations. The second prize goes to Team QC Warriors team from Mahindra & Mahindra Limited. Request the MS team to come and collect the award. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Congratulations. And the first prize goes to the team Innovators team from Alpla India Private Limited. A big round of applause requesting the team to come over to collect the prize. Thank you. Thank you and congratulations, all the winners. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other business?
Good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed my pleasure to speak a few words on the excellent work done by my friend Krishna during his leadership as the chairman of CI Telangana for 2021. Krishna and I worked very closely for the last 2 years, and in fact, he took over from me in very tough times when the COVID has crept in. So when COVID has really impacted all of us, and many of our offices were closed for close to about 2 months, and thereon partial reliefs and all that, I could see how Krishna and the team has really worked in closely interacting with the government officials and police, etc., to see that how the permissions were given to work the companies. That was incredible, in fact. So initially when we were holding some meetings, we were thinking that in few weeks or something like that, these virtual meetings which we had will get turned into something like physical meetings, but it turned out to be something like going for the whole year. But Krishna, with his excellent technical savviness and background, I think he could maneuver this digital connection of all of us, with the members, with the council, with the government, and with the industry in general, very well. And I'm happy, in fact, it is amazing to note that something like about 90 programs in this COVID situation could be done, engaging almost all the members. Something like close to 280 members is really and truly exceptional. So the team had several interactions with the state ministers and bureaucrats throughout this particular period, so that the members' issues are very well and positively taken up. Krishna is a dynamic leader and a man of few words, leading a very large, successful MNC which is operating globally, and that experience could easily be seen as how he has led our CI, taking all the panel members and conveners and industry members together. He is such a humble leader, and what really I liked is his humility to deal with all the members, and especially with the senior council members. He used to take very, very positively all the suggestions and implement. And because of this, I think in this tough times of COVID, though we have only something like about 300 members or so compared to the entire southern region, close to 3,000, but the impact that we have shown in digitally connecting with very good programs is very, very commendable. Thank you, Krishna, for the excellent leadership that you have shown. And it is said that once you are in something like CA leadership, there is no exit but only to continue. So we look forward to continue you to play a key role in our CA Telangana as well as in our Southern Regional Council, because I think though the results will be known tomorrow, I think he's selected into the Southern Regional Council also. So with his experience and the good work that he has done, I am sure that our Telangana also will be put in limelight in Southern region. Thanks so much, Krishna. It was a pleasure working with you, and I wish you very good health and look forward to working more closely with you. Thanks a lot.
As Rajgaru said, he's a good friend, and there's a benefit of your good friend talking about you, because they'll only talk very kindly. So thank you very much, Rajgaru, for your kind words. And but I'll also say, it's like I said, it wouldn't have been possible without the support of the council members, of the senior members, the past chairs, and you know, I've been incredibly lucky that a number of past chairs, both at the regional level and also at the state level, have been very, very involved with the council over the last year. So the collective wisdom, guidance, mentorship, and most importantly, the friendship is really what made the difference. And of course, like I said, with the support of the Secretariat was what we were able to achieve. So thank you very much, Razgar, again for the kind words. If there are no other points, I would like to make an announcement. The newly elected members of the Telangana State Council are requested to join the first meeting of the newly elected State Council for the year 21-22, which will be held at 2 p.m., 1400 hours, at the boardroom at this venue. I would also like to extend a special invitation to Mr. Satish Reddy, the chairman of CII Southern Region, the past chairman of the state, and the regional director, and to also kindly attend this meeting.
Chairman, with your permission, as a small token of gratitude for Krishna's leadership, I request Vanita ma'am to kindly hand over a small memento from the Southern Region to the chairman. Ma'am, please come and do the honor for his leadership for the year 2021 and 21. Big round of applause. I would also now request Sanjay Singh ji to kindly come to the podium and hand over the special chairman's album to Krishna, and so that he can relive the memories of his leadership during this tenure. Thank you. Please join us. Thank you, Vanita ma'am. Thank you, Sanjay sir. Thank you, Chairman.
So, Mr. Satish Reddy, Mr. C.K. Ranganathan, Mr. Satish Raman, the Chairman, Mr. Krishna, thanks for joining us on this hybrid session. I would also like to thank all the past chairmen and the members for joining this session. May I take this opportunity to congratulate Mr. Krishna for the excellent work done by him during this tenure as the chairman of CII Telangana. The world was impacted by what is called a black swan event, COVID-19. It was a great pleasure, and I really enjoyed, Krishna, working with you during the last year despite all the COVID challenges. While COVID-19 has brought a lot of challenges, there was also a lot of new learnings and made us adopt to new ways of functioning unlike the previous years. However, thanks to technology, we leveraged the digital platform and continued our initiatives uninterrupted and raised the bar. I was really inspired by his commitment and dedication. Krishna, it's a big challenge for the incoming chairman to keep up with the same level of commitment. May I now request all of you who are present here in joining me in congratulating Mr. Krishna. Please could we give a standing ovation to him. Thank you very much. I would also like to thank Subhajit and the secretarial team and the support which we have received from the regional chairman and also the regional secretariat. May I now request all of you to join us for tea and coffee, and we would reassemble here at 1100 hours for the public session on Tea Next with the theme Reimagining and Crystallizing Growth for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that, I would like to bring this business session to a close. We will start with the general session at 11 o'clock, the 11:10. The Honorable Minister, Mr. KT Ramarao, will also join us shortly. So thank you very much.
Check.
Check, check, test. Check, check, test.
Check, test. Check, 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 test. Check, check, testing.
Check, check. Check, test.
Check.
Check. Check, check. 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 Test. check this. Check this. Check. Check this.
It's on. Request everyone to kindly be seated. We'll be starting the session shortly. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and may I request everyone to please settle down. Mr. KT Ramarao Garu, the Honorable Minister for IT, Industries, Municipal Administration and Urban Development, Government of Telangana. Dr. Rakesh Mishra, Director of CCMB. Mr. Rambabu Burugu, Executive Director and CTO of Pranava Group. Mr. Samir Goel, Vice Chairman, CII Telangana and Managing Director of Coromandel International. Dignitaries and associates, officials from the government. Captains of the industry, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. It is my privilege to welcome you to the annual meeting of CII Telangana and the conference focused on reimagining and catalyzing growth for a sustainable tomorrow. During the beginning of the year, we set out with the objective of working closely with the government, industry, and institutions to encourage sustainable and inclusive growth in the state and enhance competitiveness of the industry. But as all of you know now, not the state, not the country, but the entire world had to go through something which was never done before. All the planning and strategies that we had engaged on were changed, and safety and health became the top priority for any individual, while survival and sustainability became priority for any organization. Fortunately, agriculture, IT, pharma, healthcare were able to run the show and support the economy. In the pandemic, CII has been successful in engaging the government and worked with members, NGOs, health workers, and some of the key stakeholders in helping some of the migrant workers and the needy. It is heartening to note that the information technology exports from Telangana are likely to grow 7% and cross 1.4 lakh crores during 2021. And this compares to the projected 1.9% growth rate for IT exports from the country. I would also like to thank the Telangana government for an exceptional support that they provided during this pandemic. And during this pandemic, the state has become one of the largest areas of investments. TS iPass has been one of the best industrial policies and made Telangana a pioneer in the country in terms of single window approvals for industry and creating a vibrant ecosystem. I'm also grateful that CII had the ability and had the opportunity to present the views of the industry to the government through regular interactions and work towards supporting ease of doing business in the state and supported members and industries at a large lockdown. I'm also very, very grateful to the Honorable Minister and the government for listening to us, and many of the requests that we made and many of the ideas that we presented to them have been adopted as policy-level decisions, which again goes to show the collaboration between industry and the respect that industry is held to in this state. And a special thanks and compliments to the Honorable Minister for facilitating that. In CII, in association with the government of Telangana, focused on bringing new investments and making Telangana industry go global with initiatives like Make in Telangana, which was a virtual exhibition and conference. We were also able to take a number of steps in increasing industry-academia collaboration, and both with the Professor Jayashankar, Telangana State Agricultural University, and IIT Hyderabad, we've developed a number of collaboration areas. Skill development and sustainability has been an important area this year, and we undertook several training sessions and workshops for industry and academia. Women empowerment has also been an area of focus, which has been carried out under CII's Indian Women Network, or IWIN, and several programs were organized to facilitate various learning, development, and growth. Before I conclude, I would also like to take this opportunity to let you know that CII Telangana is committed to be a partner in the growth story of Bangaru Telangana, and it is our responsibility to extend our full support in the process of accelerating growth through innovation, entrepreneurship, and exclusiveness, and reimagining and catalyzing growth for a sustainable tomorrow. I will be remiss if I don't conclude by personally thanking the Honorable Minister for the extraordinary support for for the extraordinary good wishes that he has conveyed to all of us and that he has demonstrated through his actions. He has been a huge supporter of CII Telangana at least during my tenure in the last 12 months, and not just a supporter through words, but more importantly through supporter through actions. I will conclude by saying we are privileged to have him as our Minister for IT and Industries, and it is therefore our responsibility to make sure that we do the right things to make Telangana, Bangaru Telangana, and really further accelerate the growth that we're seeing in various industries, the growth that we're seeing in various sectors, and make Telangana not just one of the top states in the country, but the top state in the country. With that, thank you very much, Ram, for all the support and all the help that you've provided. May I now welcome everybody once again to the public session of CII Annual Day. Thank you. May I now invite Mr. B. Rambabu, the Executive Director and CTO of Pranava Group, for his remarks, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and respected dignitaries on the stage. Sri KTR Garu, Honorable Minister of IT, Industry and Urban Development, Government of Telangana. Sri Jayesh Ranjan Garu, Principal Secretary, and Dr. Rakesh Mishra Garu, Satish Raman Garu, Krishna Vadanapu Garu, and Samir Goel Garu. Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I really thank CI Next for inviting me to this phenomenal event and conference and for giving me this opportunity to say a few words on this occasion. And also my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes to CI for playing a very vital role in these pandemic situations. As earlier speakers mentioned, really utilized these particular pandemic situations by leveraging the capability of digital innovations, by organizing interesting seminars and really encouraging the industry and also being a bridge between industry and government and across the industries. So when it comes to today's topic, reimagining and catalyzing growth for a sustainable tomorrow, I think even this is also a very good step by CI for choosing a right topic in the right time. And we can reimagine and catalyze this growth for a sustainable tomorrow only together that could be individuals, organizations, private and public sectors. So I think as we can see there, United Nations has set various sustainable development goals, 17 SDGs has set. And that can be achieved, they have said that it can be achieved by 2030 with the collaboration across all the regions, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally. So in that context, I believe we can say having a sustainable cities and communities, industry, innovation and infrastructure that can only be implemented and really in real time with the collaboration with all the parties involved. And that can really lead to a prosperity of our society that can make this planet a better place to live in. Well, a lot of goals. I know as we've seen in the earlier slide, there are very huge number of goals have been set for a sustainable living, and but that cannot be possible so easily. And so for that, I think it sounds very complex, but that can also be possible with a right set of attitude and mindset. So just I wanted to share a small story here with all of you. Maybe you might have already seen this, actually. I read a news item on recently, last year, incident where a student of 7th or 8th class student called Forest Department's toll-free number at 4 o'clock in the morning, complaining that his, next to his house, there is a big tree has been cut down, and he complained about it. And then, really delighted to know that respective Forest Department really responded, and they investigated, and they penalized with 62,000 rupees penalty. So, which was a remarkable thing, which maybe in olden days, maybe we don't imagine that's possible. So that was possible because of the government initiatives. I think I can see one thing is that here the boy's gesture, and in my view, the way his thought process might have developed with the way how he has been raised, and also the learning from the society. That society has been formed with the various initiatives by the government, like Haritaharam, Telangana Ku Haritaharam initiatives, and a lot of advertisements, a lot of billboards and social media, various promotions have been kept him, maybe more awareness about the sustainability purpose, real requirement of the greenery environment across to protect the planet. So I really say in this way, government roles always plays a key role, but even people involvement and participation plays really to keep it successful in the long term. And that's a classic example to say, together we can reimagine and catalyze growth for a sustainable tomorrow. And just on this note, I would like to give a small example from my friend's personal life, actually. So, when I was in UK, my neighbor friends actually had 2 trees in backyard. So, though he's the owner of the house and he has the trees, but he cannot cut those trees. There's a ash and oak tree, and because when he bought a house, he got a documentation for his house. Along with that, he got a special documentation from the government saying about those 2 trees he cannot touch. Even though they disturb whatever it is, doesn't matter. Only the council has to cut it down. So such a really remarkable, like it's a tree protection order or tree preservation order. So it is really making the government policies, but only that will be successful only with the people involvement and understanding and respecting the intent of the particular initiatives. So that's why I'm trying to refer earlier example with the boy who has really done. And also, just on this note, I would like to mention this particular sustainability for tomorrow can be possible with innovation, with various types of industries, as is the right platform, with a combination of all types of industries are present here, the owners and industry leaders and experts present here. Where construction industry, as we see, this is as we are from construction industry, just I would like to touch base about a single word, because this particular industry really facilitates, as you have seen 17 goals, you need to equality and justification and education across availability opportunities. So construction industry gives an opportunity to all types of all types of skill set people that could be a skilled, semi-skilled, unskilled. It is a very special industry which can really influence the economical and financial growth of a particular country or a nation. And like this, every industry has its own importance to build the sustainable world for tomorrow. So I think also on this note, I would like to emphasize, also I'm really impressed with the one initiative by government of Telangana on, like actually for constructing a Bangaru Telangana to build, to make a reality, Bangaru Telangana, like have taken as part of, they have really defined a framework, clear framework, how these SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, can be achieved via institution called Murray Chennarreddy HRD Institute, where it really have set up the various parameters, the framework, clear goals, and that goals are set and target has been defined for the various industries, and there is a clear-cut, target-oriented, and the definition has been set. That's really, I think, which is aligning with the United Nations, but to the state level and also to the local and regional industry level. If at all that message really crosses, everyone can really make, if not all 17 goals, probably a couple of goals we can achieve that. So just on this, on this occasion, just I would like to move on to, if at all, in the similar lines, just moving on, right in this neighborhood where we are meeting today, we have Pranava Group, as we are constructing a sizable venture called One Hyderabad. And that is, I'm sure it's going to become a one iconic building in Hyderabad, because we are coming up with some kind of innovative and interesting, a way of elevations, etc. And because as we see, as part of apartments, as part of the progressive development, we had to really go to the apartment culture. But however, we cannot stop, it needs to go hand in hand. So as part of this evolution, we have taken and we have really rethought about it to build and contribute for this particular context and come up with a vertical gardens and green building concept. And we also certified IGBC Platinum pre-certified. So on this moment, what I'm trying to convey is that though we have the reality is very challenging, but still with right set of attitude or something, incentives, things we can really make it happen. And this is, I'm really happy to say, also bring another context. Actually, Mr. KTR Garu has emphasized in one of the Crede Expo in a couple of years ago, saying Hyderabad, like actually construction industry and real estate people maybe have to improve on the elevations of the building. So in that context, my brother, Mr. Ravi Kumar Burugu, who is the founder and chairman of Pranava Group, has really taken very seriously and come up with some kind of one of the special elevations which can really bring some newness to the central Hyderabad. We would like to just, we have taken a refresh the profile of the central Hyderabad, because as it really has a relevance, because as we are getting new assembly and secretariat, many things are coming, but it is the right time for really refreshing the profile of the central Hyderabad, wherein all kinds of amenities can be available. So at this stage, maybe I would like to really say once again, as a collaboration between all parties, individuals, and government and industries, everyone together, industry experts, I think we can build a sustainable world for tomorrow. Thanks for giving this opportunity once again. Thank you.
Can I now request Mr. Rakesh Mishra, the Director of CCMB, for his address, please?
Honorable Minister Shri KTR ji, CII dignitaries on the dais and industry friends, it's an exceptional privilege for me to come and speak in front of this kind of gathering, which is not usual for me, but I think it reflects also the relevance of the new changes, new movement that is happening after this terrible pandemic. I'm saying after this terrible pandemic, although we are yet to reach that point, but I think the people like you are now going to play extremely important role when we are going to recalibrate many activities, many things, including the healthcare, which is the domain in which we work, and in many aspects of the healthcare, in the sense, the system, the industry, the new perspective that now is there for science and society, that science is much more useful in immediate requirement than we were thinking before. And another important thing that has emerged, which you are all going to play important role, is in the self-reliance of many things that we had become comfortable or complacent that even importing of those things can be all right, but we have seen that it can be even a national security issue at some times. The technology is that in 1 year, the kinds of changes that have taken place, the kind of constraints that we have gone through, has opened so many things, uncovered so many hidden abilities, possibilities, and talent in the society. That is just unbelievable what has happened. And I think this is the time to put into the proper use and take the momentum, the catalysis that has happened. This pandemic has really propelled a very unusual, very highly, more or less, you can say, indispensable requirement for the innovation and indigenization of things that we were not thinking before. So, for instance, during the early time of the pandemic, when we hardly had anything within the country to do the testing that was so crucial, which still is, but the only difference from them and now is now there is no limitation of testing resources. Most of the ingredients are now manufactured internally, and there is no shortage of testing kits. And that has happened because many entrepreneurs have responded to the need of the hour. They have worked beyond the regular limitations and really have delivered something which we will be very proud of. Most of things like PPEs that were being imported, now India is one of the exporters of those. Many of these numbers and things I am not there to tell. You are far more informed about those things, but I'm just talking about the basic changes that have taken place. I'll just give a couple of examples from the small laboratories like CCMB, where as the pandemic came in, our students came and said that we use this virus in the lab, we do experiment with them. Now we will do the testing, we will grow the virus in the lab, and we will do experiment with this. And will help finding ways of, better ways of detection, better ways of assaying the drugs and disinfectants and so on. That was amazing. These are not the people who are there as employees. They are there to do their PhDs, and they will go away after 4 or 5 years, most of them to other academic institutions abroad or sometimes in the industry. But that had really changed the whole scenario. These are the people who converted the labs into the testing laboratories, validation laboratories, repositories, and culturing the virus in the lab, so that we have been able to test over 100 new drugs and sanitation methods, which are now, and many of them are really, really promising, and many of them are with industry partners who are developing them further. These are students who could develop the methods to test where the method is cheaper, safer, and you have several-fold higher throughput with the existing infrastructure. And now those have been adopted by Apollo Hospital Group, by Spice Health, and Merrill Diagnostics. Many others are interested and converting them into business opportunities. We have gone even to the extent that we are developing a technique with the help of Syngene, which is a biocon company, where 50,000 tests will be done in one go, and at as low a cost as 200 rupees. So I think in coming weeks this will be available. And these are the opportunities, these are the capabilities that are coming, and they will exist even beyond the COVID. And you can test entire battalion, entire unit, entire locality in one go. And we have supported more than a dozen entrepreneurs and startups within our small facilities where new technologies have come. For example, one startup has developed a technique to test antibody test of this virus for less than 50 rupees at a very large scale, and I'm sure it has been patented and soon it will reach the market. So these are the opportunities that are around, and when there is a requirement, when there is a need, then they come as a real established technologies and even commercializable things. Our students and with the help of sister institutions like ICT and NEERI, we have developed many new technologies during this period, which I'm saying this because you can see the potential of institutions, academia, which have a lot more to contribute, and they have to do this because they are public funded and it is their responsibility. But anything that happens in the lab has no meaning in terms of their implementation unless industry comes forward and take it. Because most people who develop these, they don't go beyond the boundaries of their institutions. So there are methods like surveying using sewage system, the parasite load or the infection load in the city, air surveillance to find out how much of the virus is there in the air. And then what we call as genomic surveillance, in which we can very carefully monitor if new variants are emerging anywhere and control it before it becomes a problem, which is extremely relevant in today's context. And even important thing is zoonotic surveillance, where we know that many of times parasites or viruses stay in the live in the wildlife, and if we interfere with wildlife, we encroach there, then we run the risk of bringing such pandemic kind of situation. We all know that this pandemic is outcome of our intrusion in the nature, and that's why there's something which is unusual has come into humans. And I was very happy to that these were amply emphasized in Mr. Rambabu's address, that we have to respect nature. And in his story, I'm very impressed that boy who made the phone call represents our society, that represents our future, that represents that we don't accept something which is not natural and which destroys our environment. That's something very inspiring and very interesting. I'll just make one more point, that in terms of new opportunities that are appearing, healthcare is going to be extremely important. It was very important. It's a major economic sector, but now, as we all know, that is going to be much, much more than that. And what revolution I would say has come is the example by which we are now ready to deliver vaccine to the society in less than 1 year of time. Till few months ago, even I was skeptical about it, that there will be no vaccine, for this pandemic. But 2 weeks before the first anniversary of when the test was first infection was detected in India, we had 2 vaccines available to us. That is something remarkable, and very, very proud of. We are very proud of the Hyderabad system, the industry, the pharma, and the environment, that the government provides the support that and encouragement that it gave to the industry, that you have one of the finest vaccine that is available, which is produced in Hyderabad. And this is actually much more than a vaccine. It only shows that we have reached the technology where as complex solution as vaccine, which takes 8 or 10 years to come, can be delivered within a year. And now there are even more sophisticated technology called RNA vaccine that can be produced in very small infrastructure in a building like this space, and this can be moderated or modified based on the requirement or the new variant within 2-3 weeks, and with the small testing it can go for the public use. So that is now a new way of handling the disease system, how to preventing, because vaccine is the best solution. Drugs will come when we get infected, but the vaccine can prevent that from happening. And this new openings, another important component is the regulatory system has become very responsive and sensitive, thanks to the pressure from the government and of course from the public, that many things have been made faster, and you can now get many approvals done within a very short period of time. That within a period of time, having all safety approvals from the lab, and then the phase 1, 2, 3 trials and vaccine available is something just remarkable. It's fantastic. So this unprecedented situation has given opportunities. It compelled us to work together, to work for indigenization, and many things are happening now. We are interacting with industry in very extensive way, and we are joining hands in a more proactive way with RICH, which most of you are aware of, which is bringing very, I will say, exceptional opportunity, exceptional networking for the big things to happen. And the things where we are involved in ensuring the quality, so help large-scale production and help in quality maintenance, so that the material that is made, I'm talking about healthcare and diagnostics items, which are mostly, even water, you will be surprised, is imported. for many of these tests. I mean, this is ridiculous. We can make this, but now is the requirement and there's a compulsion, and then industry has responded. In few months' time, we have started an activity with GET Foundation and REACH and CCMB. In few weeks' time, actually, we are going to announce that every single component of kit that is used for most of the diagnostic will be made indigenously, and we'll be very happy to know it will be made in Hyderabad. So, I can't speak many details, but the mRNA vaccine that is produced by Pfizer, the essential components of this vaccine is supplied, exported from Hyderabad. I was so surprised that we are sitting here, but now we are aware of these things and we will put into use, and there is a requirement, there is a acceptance, and now there is enthusiasm from the industry side. So I think we are heading towards a accelerated growth, which will be providing innovative solutions and substitute unnecessary exploitation that happens because we have to import things. So if you import, then you are going to get only what a country or a company is going to give you. But if you make yourself, then you can design it and make according to your need, according to your requirement, and you will not be forced. So I think we have realized that if we can send an object all the way up to Mars, then what I'm talking is actually trivial. So that's why I was very happy when I was contacted by CII to come and interact with you all. I think it's an exceptional opportunity for us to give new impetus, give new scope to biotechnology, to healthcare system, equipments, diagnostics, surveillance methods, which will not only help our society. As you see from the example of vaccine, it will help the rest of the world, because we are the intellectual power, the exceptional talent in our students that we can provide solution to nobody else can provide. And I look forward to working all of you, and it will be a pleasure to interact like this and pick up certain things and take them forward, and look forward to that. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mishra, for a very enlightening message, and also for for telling us the good things that are happening in Hyderabad, which gives us further pride in what goes on in our city. With that, may I request the Honorable Minister, Mr. KT Ramarao Garu, for his inaugural address.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you very much. I know your presidentship is only lasting for another couple of hours, so congratulations on a wonderful tenure. Congratulations on a job well done. Under your leadership, I think one of the most tumultuous years that we've witnessed in human history. You had to endure that, but unlike President Trump, you've done well for yourself. We can all applaud you on that. Thank you, Mishra ji, once again for endorsing, reinforcing our belief that Hyderabad continues to remain, the mainstay for life sciences ecosystem. Continues to remain the vaccine capital of the world. Continues to remain a very, very strong center for bulk drugs, pharmaceuticals, and the overall life sciences ecosystem. And thank you also for enlightening us on all the new developments, especially on the mRNA front, the RNA front that you just spoke about. Thank you. Thank you for reinforcing our belief system, and also for continuing to support the government as well. Shubhajit, Mr. Samir, and Mr. Rambabu, and to all the dignitaries of the dais as well. Firstly, I'd like to thank Krishna and the entire team of CII for inviting me here, because I think every year when CII conducts multiple such events, it gives us a platform to talk to you, to understand from you, to learn from you, and also to kind of upgrade ourselves every so year. Because I'm a firm believer in the theory. In fact, whenever I meet BVR Mohan Reddy Garu, he always talks about skilling, the one thing that he refuses to ever let go of. I'm a firm believer in one thing, sir. I think it applies to politicians, it applies to institutions, it applies to governments, it applies to students, everybody. Skill, upskill, reskill, I think, that's something that we can't do without. So every time I come here, I always learn something, I always pick up something, I always kind of try and, imbibe some of the positives and also some of the, drawbacks or limitations that get pointed out. In the last 6.5 years of Telangana's existence as a new state, I would say, of course, I have the fiduciary responsibility of only saying the good things. So therefore, I will blow my own trumpet and say we've done exceptionally well. In fact, when we started our journey about 6.5 years ago, I keep saying this, there were a lot of doubts on industrialization, the potential of Hyderabad, how the new government could do well, in the sense of ensuring that the momentum is continued. But within no time, within a very, very short span, in fact, today Telangana, wherever you go in the country, whoever you speak to, whichever industry house you speak to, without a question, remains one of the industry magnets, if investment magnets, if you ask me, in the entire country. Among the top 3 or 4 states that continue to attract investment, both domestic and foreign direct investment, we continue to rank right up there. We also continue to rank right up there in the top 3 on the ease of doing business rankings every year. And we continue to also reform ourselves, we continue to also push the envelope when it comes to bringing about policy changes that are dictated and that are kind of dictated by the market and guided by industry bodies such as CII. We've been growing the state economy at an annual average rate of 9%, and we've also achieved double-digit growth in the last 2 consecutive years before COVID. We wanted to obviously grow much faster, but as you know, COVID, not just COVID, but even before COVID, if you think about it, the overall situation, the overall economic situation in the country also wasn't very conducive. In fact, much before lockdown happened, let us remind ourselves, there was 8 consecutive quarters of slowdown, economic slowdown. The GDP, I think, was at 8% or something. It started slipping, and eventually it came down to about 4+%. And then eventually it ended up in a lockdown, which resulted in a recession. And now we are seeing slow but steady signs of recovery. As I pointed out, there are some strong areas for the state. When it comes to the state's sectoral performance, and where we have done well in the last 7 years and also prior to that, I think life sciences, of course, continues to remain one of the most important sectors. Healthcare, information technology. Now, of late, aerospace, defense, logistics, textiles, food processing. These sectors, of course, continue to remain the mainstay. One of the sectors that I'm very pleased about, in fact, when Mr. Rambabu was speaking, I was saying to myself, they don't get as much credit as they should. The sector that really needs to be appreciated for their performance in the last 6-7 years particularly, and also several decades also, in the last couple of decades if you ask me. They are the second largest employer in the country today. After agriculture, the maximum number of people are employed by the construction industry. But unfortunately, they don't get their credit, as they're not really a focused industry as far as government sectors are concerned, as far as governments are concerned. But I must appreciate the way Hyderabad's construction industry, real estate industry has evolved over the last several years, and today they are able to compete with the rest of the country. Today they are able to, in fact, not just me, but institutions like JLL, CBRE, Cushman, all these property managers, they keep pointing out that Hyderabad's industry, construction industry, has been faring better than any other construction industry anywhere else in the country compared to any other metro city in India. So my compliments to the entire construction and real estate and developer fraternity as well. Information technology, as we all know, has been growing, and in fact when in 2013 and 14, when the new state of Telangana came into being, the IT exports from the state were about 57,000 crore plus. And today I'm happy to report to you, this fiscal, in spite of COVID, we are expected to grow at about 7% last year, And NASSCOM reports and even STPI is tentatively putting it at 1,40,000 plus crores, which is more than double in the last 5.5 years. That goes to show you that the government and the private sector, government can only be an enabler. Government doesn't really have a direct role in information technology, but it continues to remain an enabler. It continues to remain focused on emerging technologies. It continues to remain focused on policies that enable further investment opportunities. Technologies like AI, data analytics, IoT, cybersecurity, robotics, blockchain, drones, all of these continue to remain a big focus for Telangana government. Of course, gaming, animation, VFX, and the homegrown Tollywood industry here also, in fact, have been doing exceptionally well, and also the OTT platforms, that have come up also have been doing very, very well, and a lot of content also is coming up from Hyderabad. On the digital front, in fact, we've said this in the past and we continue to maintain this, both infrastructure, literacy, digital literacy, continue to remain a priority for us, and the state government, in fact, is forging ahead with its T-Fiber project and also promoting digital literacy in our state. We also have continued to push information technology as a priority for not just Hyderabad, but also for Tier 2 towns. So Karimnagar, Warangal, Khammam, Mehboob-nagar, Nizamabad, and very soon Nalgonda, Ramgundam, Siddipet, all of these locations, in fact. Today I'm happy again to share with you that a city like Warangal, which is the second largest in Telangana, has received a great deal of support from the industry. Cyient, a very prominent business house from Hyderabad, from Telangana, has agreed to our request, has opened a large development center in Warangal. My compliments to Mohan Reddy Garu and Krishna for that. So did Tech Mahindra, and so did Mindtree Consulting, which is an arm of L&T Group. All of them have set shop in Warangal. Now these are the big houses, and then there are the smaller startups, and then there are the smaller services companies, which also have taken space from the government, which also have done exceptionally well in the last few years. So I'm very excited about the possibility of pushing more and more services which can be done elsewhere outside of Hyderabad to those Tier 2 towns, so that we continue to provide employment for our local kids and local students in these Tier 2 towns also. Now, skilling, as I pointed out, continues to remain a priority. While Telangana Academy for Skill and Knowledge has been doing well, I think we could do a lot better, because now with the focus on sectoral skilling, for instance, in life sciences, we continue to say that we are right up there with respect to vaccine manufacturing, with respect to pharmaceuticals. We still have the potential to create great deal of employment for our children. So therefore, skilling is an area which I'm very, very keen on to partner with industry bodies like CII to further the cause. On the innovation front, Telangana government has been known for its agenda to push Hyderabad as the one of the important innovation hubs in the country, if not the capital, innovation capital in the country. Our T-Hub, T-Works, V-Hub continue to focus and continue to engage with the youngsters from across the country, and we continue to take pride in the kind of products and the kind of companies they have been able to produce and they have been able to create. In fact, recently 5 Hyderabad companies and their founders have made it to Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia for the year 2020, which is a matter of great delight for all of us. We also have been pushing, with increased agricultural production in the state of Telangana, with the focus of Honorable Chief Minister, 24 hours of free power to agriculture sector, increased godown capacity, improved yields, and with irrigation being a high priority for the government, we've been able to create more than 1 lakh crore worth of agricultural products from our state. I'm very, very proud of this. But what this leads to is, of course, a potential opportunity to invest in agro-processing, in food processing, and allied sectors. Our Honorable Chief Minister, in fact, has a great vision when it comes to food processing sector. He's, in fact, been promoting the cause of farmers, where they will be able to get a fair market price, and also the industry can benefit from the agriculture surplus from our state by way of creating food processing, special food processing zones. Now, this is something I'm very upbeat about. and my department has been working together with the Agriculture and Horticulture Department in taking this cause forward. In addition to IT, life sciences, aerospace and defense industry also continues to grow in the state of Telangana. I'm proud that we have several marquee names working out of Telangana, and not just the large companies. In fact, we're equally proud about the SMEs in the aerospace and defense industry, who continue to be the suppliers, who continue to again, make us proud by supplying to, submarines in France, by supplying to the satellites that are sent by ISRO and other space agencies, and we continue to again grow in this area as well. But the one grievance, in fact, I do have, I was speaking to Krishna about it a while ago. Telangana has been, in fact, as I pointed out, a very progressive state, a state which has continued to encourage business, a state which has continued to focus only on getting the job done. Unfortunately, the kind of support that we have anticipated, the kind of support we have expected from Government of India in the last 6.5 years has not come about. Now, I'm going to be a bit blunt and I will speak my mind, and I think I'll have to use this platform also to appeal to Government of India to rethink on priorities, because we hear great slogans. We hear slogans like Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, Make in India, Skill India, Digital India. All these are great slogans. Without a question, the motive is very noble. But unless we work together, the Honorable Prime Minister keeps saying Team India, but unless that sentence or unless that intention translates into real action, things will not happen. We say Make in India, but unfortunately we still are not really making in India. We are merely a country which assembles. We don't really manufacture much here. Let me just remind Government of India, particularly Piyush Goyalji, Nirmala Sitharamanji and Honorable Prime Minister, as to what promises they had made to the state of Telangana and to the state of Andhra Pradesh at the time of bifurcation of the erstwhile United Andhra Pradesh. We were promised, the industries in both states were promised special incentives to further, create employment opportunities for our youngsters in these two states. It has been 6.5 years. No special incentive has been given. No announcement has been made, even though it was embedded in the AP Reorganization Act. An act is statute. It's a law. And if Government of India does not honor its own promise made in the Parliament, who will? I think that's a question that needs to be answered, that needs to be addressed by Government of India. They've also promised, the previous Union Government, UPA, had announced information technology investment regions in the country. One in Hyderabad, one more in Bangalore, I think one more in Vizag, another one in Odisha. 6.5 years, no decision gets made. No discussion on whether or not they will move forward with ITIR. And eventually, the Honorable IT Minister comes for an election campaign here and then goes on to announce that it has been scrapped. In spite of our numerous requests, in spite of detailed project reports being submitted, in spite of the well-intentioned, well-meaning efforts from the state government, unfortunately, we have not received support. Had ITIR been grounded today, Hyderabad has been growing. Of course, we've been growing with the support of the local industry. But had ITIR been grounded and had central government invested more in creating infrastructure in our state, I think we would have created a couple more lakhs of employment at least. And we would have grown at a much more, aggressive pace. The central government also promised, as part of the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, a steel factory, an integrated steel plant at Bayaram in Warangal district, erstwhile Warangal district of Telangana. Unfortunately, not an inch has moved in spite of multiple requests from our side. The central government also had promised a rail coach factory in Warangal again. Again, in spite of state government submitting all the details, giving out more than the land that was required. 60 acres of land was asked for. We gave 150 acres of land. But unfortunately again, they have decided not to take it up. I can go on and on. There are multiple such things where they've industrial corridors. We've been asking, nothing comes our way. High-speed rails, Hyderabad does not find its place. Bullet rail, unfortunately, it only goes through Gujarat. Starts in Delhi, goes to Bombay via Gujarat. South of India, Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. Unfortunately, we don't seem to figure in the scheme of things. I can go on and on. We've requested for more electronics manufacturing clusters. The 2 manufacturing clusters that were sanctioned by UPA about 7, 8 years ago are now to the brim. We want more electronic manufacturing clusters. You know, make in India बोलने से कुछ नहीं होता है. जगह भी बनाना पड़ता है, but they don't sanction. I can go on and on. In fact, some things are so silly. See, India talks of competing with China and the large manufacturing countries in the world. How do you compete with China? Unless you achieve economies of scale, unless you think on scale, you cannot compete with a large manufacturing country like China. Classic example is, in the recently concluded BioAsia, I met with a medical devices manufacturer. So I was talking to this gentleman and I was asking him as to where he manufactures most of his products. He said, sir, I don't manufacture anything in India. I merely import them from China. I put my label, I sell them in the market. I said, why would you do that? He said, sir, it costs me more to manufacture here than to import. Simple as that. Our import duties are ridiculous. It's a simple example. But the fact is, why are our import duties, why are our manufacturing expenses more in comparison to imports from China or another country, another large manufacturing country? That is because we don't think on scale. When we reached out to Government of India and when we told them that we would like to set up a large pharma park, largest pharma park in the world, in 19,000 acres, and when we requested their support, they're completely blindsided. They do not want to really take up a proposal seriously. I mean, they make all these nice statements. Self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, अच्छा slogan है. But उसके लिए एक भूमिका भी बनानी पड़ती है. उसके लिए कोई काम भी करना पड़ता है. It won't just happen by sloganeering. Make in India बोलने से नहीं बनता है. My appeal to Government of India is, please think on scale. Support governments which have acquired land. Telangana state has already acquired more than 12,000 acres of land for pharma park. Why will you not support us? Are we not part of India? यहाँ बनाने से make in Telangana, make in India नहीं होता है क्या? Just because you have a government which is not really in sync with you politically, that should not be the thinking. My request to Government of India is, in the interest of the nation, in the interest of the country, let economics supersede politics. Let us not take mere political considerations into sanctioning strategic projects. Hyderabad has a very, very strong defense and aerospace ecosystem. So I went and met the Honorable Defense Minister about 2 years ago. I requested her. I said, Madam, we have several large institutions in Hyderabad, DRDL, DRDO, RCI, and several others, defense establishments. There is a strong business ecosystem, strong, SME ecosystem. If a defense industrial production corridor is created between Hyderabad and Bangalore, it will really help the nation. But you know where it goes to? It is sanctioned to Bundelkhand, where there is no defense company. Because they have 80 parliament seats there, and Telangana and Karnataka and Andhra have, I think, less than 80. Now, these sort of posturings, these sort of decisions, which are driven by political compulsions, will not help our cause, will not help our country. A large pharma park is being created in Hyderabad. Support it. A large textile park is created, largest textile park in the country is created in Warangal. The state government has already done its bit. Support it. My request to Government of India is, instead of confining yourselves to lip service, I think put your money onto the promise of making India truly great, making India truly a country to reckon with in the larger scheme of things. I can go on and on, but I will only say one thing and I'll close. We have made great deal of efforts to reach out, to request, to work with them, to ensure that our state continues to grow, our businesses continue to grow. And I do hope that they will come forward. I do hope they will come and start looking at the various aspects, encourage a growing state, encourage a progressive state, and work with us. Even if that does not happen, I have no qualms. We've been doing well for the last 6.5 years with all of your support. We will continue to grow under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister. But if it does happen, and if Government of India also supports our initiatives, classic example, when Rakesh ji was speaking, I was thinking, Hyderabad is the vaccine capital of the world. We manufacture 35% of global vaccines in Hyderabad out of Genome Valley. But you know where the vaccine testing laboratory is? We have to take our samples from here, travel 1,200 kilometers to Kasauli, and get our samples, tested there. What is the logic? What is the rationale? Can't we sanction a lab here? And does the state government have to plead with you, beg with you, to get a lab sanctioned, even in the middle of a pandemic? I don't understand this logic. So this sort of situation is something that we can very well do away with, especially when there are no elections around. I mean, अगली election तो 3 साल दूर है. अभी से क्या जल्दी है? तू मैं बहुत किया जा सकता है 3 साल बाद. तो मैं दरख्वास्त करता हूँ, विनती करता हूँ केंद्र सरकार में जितने भी बड़े-बड़े हस्ती हैं कि आप इंडिया के हित में, आप देश के हित में आप सोचिए. और हैदराबाद और तेलंगाना एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ से अच्छे इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, बहुत सारे लोग उभर के आए हैं और बहुत सारा अच्छा काम यहाँ पे हो रहा है. थोड़ी सी अगर आपकी मदद मिल जाती है तो और भी हम तरक्की करेंगे, ये वादा आपसे करते हैं. और आखिरी में मैं यही कहना चाहता हूँ केंद्र सरकार से कि आप देश के हित में, टीम इंडिया के हित में आप जो बात करते हैं उस पर आप उतर आए, उस पर और मेक श्योर दैट you deliver on that promise and help the progressive state like Telangana continue to grow with the support of the industry. Once again, thank you very much, Krishna and the team, for this opportunity.
Now we'll have the awards ceremony lined up. And I would request my colleague Satya Aruna to kindly announce the Harita Haram Awards and recognition to the winners. Over to you.
May I request Mr. Anil Ipur, sir, to kindly come on to the dais, please. And Vanita Datla, ma'am, also, please.
Shri K.T. Ramarao Garu, dignitaries on the dais, and friends. Telangana Ku Harita Haram is indeed one of the excellent initiatives of our respected Chief Minister and of the Government of Telangana, which envisages to increase the present 24% tree cover to 33% of the total geographical area of the state. CII had the honor of partnering with the government in this green initiative and have collectively planted over 6 million saplings in the state over the past 5 years. I think this is the one single organization that has done the maximum green planting in the state of Telangana every year. And this year, with the support of the stakeholders, CII has planted over 2 million saplings from the August to December 2020, even in these difficult times, and has a survival rate of about 85%. It's not just planting and forgetting, but looking after them to have a survival. So we would like to hand over the copy of the CII Harita Haram journey till 2020, which captures the journey over the past 5 years, monitoring of the success rate, and feedback from members. Today we will be presenting mementos to 17 organizations who have actively taken part in the initiative in the year 2020. There are two categories. The category one is those companies that have planted over 10,000 saplings. The category two is plantations below 10,000 saplings. We heartily thank each and every one who are part of this inspiring green journey, and we as a team look forward to continue to work closely with the Government of Telangana in building a greener and healthier Bangaru Telangana. As a son of the soil, I really appreciate the state of Telangana for its commitment to increasing our green cover, and I look forward to the support of all of you. Thank
you. May I request all the Haritaharam Award recipients to come on to the dais from your left side, receive the award and leave from your right side, please. Request you all to be there on the left side of the stage, please. So we would start announcing the awards now. The first organization who would be receiving the award is Office of NSS JNTUH. May I request Director Professor Govardhan and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request all the audience to kindly applaud the team for their contribution for Haritaharam. The next organization, ITC PSPD, to be ready, please. The next organization to receive the award is ITC Limited Paperboards and Specialty Papers Division. May I request Mr. Sanjay Singh and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Pragati Resorts team to be ready, please. The next organization is to receive the award is Pragati Green Meadows and Resorts Limited. I would request Dr. GBK Rao and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. The next organization, Kanha Shantivanam, to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Vamshi and his team from Sahaj Marg Spirituality Foundation, Kanha Shantivanam, to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request the Sign Team Limited to be ready, please. I would request Mr. Krishna Devi and team from Science Limited to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Alpla India team to be ready, please. May I request Alpla India team to be ready, please. May I request Ms. Sobha Dikshit and her team from Alpla India Private Limited to kindly come and receive the award, please. Delhi Public School Nacharam team to be ready, please. May I request the team from Delhi Public School Nacharam to kindly come and receive the award, please. Parsi Zoroastrian Anjuman team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Omin Debara from Parsi Zoroastrian Anjuman of Secunderabad and Hyderabad to kindly come and receive the award, please. Geetam University team to be ready, please. May I request DVVSR Verma and his team from Geetham University to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request GDMS Obul Reddy School to be ready, please. May I request Ms. Lata Shankar and her team from DDMS P. Obul Reddy Public School, Jubilee Hills to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Delhi Public School Nadargul team to be ready, please. May I request teams from Delhi Public School Nadargul to kindly come and receive the award, please. I would request Pallavi Group of Schools team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Yashashvi and his team to kindly come and receive the award, please. May I request HSBC team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Prasad Tekumalla from HSBC Electronic Data Processing India Private Limited to kindly come and receive the award, please. May I request Vedri Township team to be ready, please. May I request Mr. Vignesh and his team from Vedri